few years ago, whenever Game Changers first came out, in the mad rush to figure out how to tie these things, we kind of figured out they're a pain to tie. But in the years since, companies have come out with a few things to make it a little bit easier. And the EP company that Enrico Puglisi, the EP Fibers, that company, just came out with one of the better ways to tie Game Changers, all in one package. In this new product spotlight, we're talking about the EP brush set for Game Changers. They say articulated set. It's really Game Changers. Something that keeps poking me. It's probably deer hair. Stuff gets everywhere. All I know is that I'm not the biggest fan of Game Changers. I know. But hear me out. Tying them and trimming them and everything like that has been like the bane of my existence. The reason I don't like Game Changers and stuff like that. These brush sets help both of those things. Like, a lot. So before we jump into exactly what they are and their steps and they start small and they get bigger, we're gonna go over colors first. There are 8 colors. There's black, chartreuse, olive, white, purple 3D, polar, gray, and there's translucent, but I've already used a lot of it. That's it. I couldn't help myself. I had to get into it. Just had to. So the beauty of these brushes is they are pre-sized for you. Starting with the 1/2 inch, to the 3/4 inch, to the 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/2 inch, and 1 3/4. So in effect, they go up 1/4 inch between this all the way to this, which just makes sense. So you can use all 6 of these. That doesn't show it very well. I don't have... To taper your way up to a Game Changer. What they are literally made out of is EP Fibers and the EV Sparkle Flash. Now we all know that there are products that are made out of different material than this that kind of work their way up, but definitely not to this degree. Stupid phone. Body Wrap and Finesse Chenille do stagger their sizes, but I think they only come in 3 different sizes, and they're all on a cord, which makes them heavier, no doubt. The only thing holding these together is a tiny stainless... I hope that didn't break. We're good. But the only thing holding these together is a tiny stainless steel wire. There's nothing to soak up any water, which is my big deal with Game Changers. I feel like Game Changers tend to soak up way too much water and they get heavy, and I just don't dig that. These are a lot different. This is not perfect by any means, but this is way better. So obviously, since you have all these different sizes, you don't have to use all 6 to taper your way up to the largest one. You can start at the smallest one and only go 2 up, or you can go 3 up and then add a hook, whatever you want to do. So you can tie several different sizes. You don't have to only tie the big one. So I tied this one with a little bit of color. We'll go over that in a second. All the way up to this one. So this to this with some Dead Meat Customs eyes on them. So yeah, you can tie big to small and everything in between. So what you can say is, generally, these make tying Game Changers that much easier. They're easier to trim. And I would venture to say that if you didn't want to trim these, you don't have to. You can go ahead and just leave them the way they are, and they're gonna swim great. A lot of the trimming and all that stuff is for us, not so much the fish. I'm just saying, but I still like to trim them. And I've got a cool way to show you how to trim them. I've got a tail shank in the vise that I already put marabou on, just a tail. We're gonna start with the smallest brush. Now we're going to the next size. $15mm shank. And the next size up. Next size. And the next size, I think you get the point now. $25mm. Next size. So as you can tell, at any point we could have put a hook in here and been fine. Done. Now the biggest one. Automatic taper built in. Pretty cool, huh? You can 100% fish this. You wouldn't have to trim this if you don't want to. But it's not my channel if we don't zhuzh it up a little bit, is it? One of the main things that I really like about most synthetic materials is they take marker really well, and these are no exception, obviously. I thought about mixing a tequila sunrise to, so adding colors or stripes or dots, whatever you want to do, is really easy with this material. Super, super easy. We're gonna start off with olive. Baby steps. Going to burnt umber. We're gonna keep this one just just on the very top. Now black. This is the point where I could totally screw this up. I mean, it's okay. If I could go back and do it again, it'd be a little different. After all that, I went ahead and took out more of the bulk. So in these videos, I always try to show you the good sides and the bad sides of every material, because there's a give and take in almost everything that we do. So this whole video has been gives. One of the takes that I've come up with is you'll only use the little one for like 2 or 3 turns, 4 or 5 turns, whatever. So you're only going to use about this much per fly. But the big one, you may end up using half of it per fly. The fix for this is really simple. Tie more sizes. You may get a couple game changers out of the big one, but the small sizes, you get 3 or 4 game changers out of those, 4 or 5 if you wanted to do just different sizes. Just pick your sizes according to what you've got left. So bottom line, yes, this stuff is a lot of fun. It definitely makes tying game changers easier. It definitely makes trimming them easier. And you still get all those good properties of the EP fibers that we all love. And the flash is still in there. So before we give away the foaminizer from the previous video, excuse me, I've got a little announcement on memberships and stuff like that. These giveaways have become really cool and really fun. I have 3 tiers on my memberships. So for the first tier, I'm gonna add another chance for you to win whatever giveaway it is per video. For the second tier, I'm gonna add 2 more chances. And for the third tier, you guessed it, 3 more chances. So yeah, another thing to just say thank you for being a member. For membership information, check out the description of this video. Let's give away the foaminizer. This, Shannon Overton. You win. Get with me on Instagram or shoot me an email and I'll get the foaminizer to you. I didn't just break it. It's foam. For your chance to win the flies in this video. These and the chartreuse one. Like the video. Subscribe to my channel. It's free. It's totally free. Comment on the video. And then members get extra chances. And I'll have the random number generator pick a random comment, send you stuff.